Welcome to P.I.T.C.O, where the deals never end. We buy those Argos pallets and we make amend. Air fryers, microwaves, kettles on the way. Electrical tools, laptops, tablets every day. We fix it with the better prices you'll love. With quality repairs, we soar like a dove. From parts to machines, we've got what you need. Satisfaction guaranteed.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is intended for educational purposes only. Do not attempt to perform, recreate, or replicate any of the actions shown. Electrical appliances and components can store hazardous voltages, even when disconnected from power, and pose a serious risk of shock, injury, or death. Always consult a qualified professional and follow proper safety standards.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got not one but two Salter air fryers on the bench. One's completely stopped working and is toast, it's dead. The other one is basically brand new, it's got a faulty plug. But can I repair the new one that's got a faulty plug? Sure, I can repair that, but the trouble with that is by the time I repaired the plug, this is a seal plug, so I have to cut it off and put a normal standard plug on there. But by the time I've done that and then gone through the trouble of fully testing it, make sure everything's good on it, giving it a good clean, etc., and listing it, it's not worth it. These are only worth about a tenner each if they're in really good condition. They're worth, you know, a hell of a lot more than that if they're all stripped down in parts. So we'll start with a broken one that's not working and is dead, and we'll see if there's any salvageable parts left inside that one, and then we'll get round to the newer one. Let's take a look. And with these, the tops just pop off, just like that. We just have the 4 screws there, which we take out, and take the tray out. You can see the tray has definitely seen better days, and even the pan itself, so we shan't be using that. As we're stripping it for parts anyway, we don't need the mains wire, so that can come off. Just snip off the wires. However, we cut the plugs off both and connections off both ends, because we recycle the wires. The plugs will go into another bin so that we can recover the brass plugs, brass ends from them at a later date, which basically just look like the brass pins. And when we get a whole collection of them, we send them in as well to the refiners. Plastics, they go to a separate place for recycling. Straight away we've got a micro switch on the bottom of this one here, so that's one part that can be salvaged, providing that's still working okay. Everything gets tested before we try and list anything. So that's your drawer micro switch. You lift your front off, where you've got display just inside, which will unclip. That's your display panel. You can take off and be reused. We'll do that in a moment. Right, as you can see here, now we're down to the nitty gritty parts of it. And you've got your main board and your fan motor. These parts here goes down to your heating element, which is inside this section, which we'll get to in a moment. But first, let's attack this part here. Yeah, and that's the main board. Doesn't look like very much. You've got basically just a relay on here and a little transformer. There's not really much to this that controls the unit. This one's your motor, your fan motor. We'll disconnect it from here, or unscrew it from here, but you won't be able to get it out yet until we remove the fan blades from the other side. So your motor's loose, but it's attached, it's held in place by the fan blades that are inside. So how we get to that is we remove these screws that are around the perimeter that holds the top to the bottom basket. just lifts off like so. It's your heating element, which held in by 3 screws, and it will just pull out because we cut the wires the other side. And it just wiggle out. Again, that's the heating element, so it will clean up. You know, you can just give all this bit of fat and stuff a good clean off of there and clean up. So as long as we test this and it's working, then we can give it a clean up, and that's a part that can be listed. With the fan motors, a lot of people struggle with the fan motors, but I find if you just hold a pair of pliers on the nut, and you've got to go the opposite direction, so you just spin the blade, the nut will just fall straight off, and it will release the motor straight out the other side, and then you've got your fan motor blade, which is a little bit dirty, but again, these are quite fragile, and if they're twisted out of shape at all, they'll make a hell of a noise when they're working. So if you're going to sell parts like this, then you just keep them as flat and straight as possible. And generally, we won't bother taking off the metal shield to expose any parts underneath, but we'll do that this time just to show you guys what's in there. Now, to release this metal plate, you're going to turn it over, and you'll see there's a metal tab on each side that you just got to straighten first because it's pushed through and twisted. And then turn to the other side, and the plate will lift off. And that's how you get to your second fan blade. And the other parts that are in here is you'll have your little heat sensing probe inside, which this one's caked in all sorts of rubbish, and in here, which we'll just take out and show you, because on this particular model we happen to know that it's one of the most common causes for these machines to fail and stop working. So we'll get these out and show you what they are, so that if you're someone that's repairing your own air fryer, or you've got an air fryer the same as this that's not working and you can't figure out why, because everything tests okay, these are usually the culprit. If I can get it out. And what you'll find is there's 2 of them. You pull the sheath back and you'll have a little thermal fuse in there, and these are generally, when they get overheated, these will blow and that will shut the whole machine down and it'll stop working. And these are easily replaced for pennies online, so whereas you would normally throw the machine away because it's stopped working, it's broken, you could just repair it for the sake of less than £2, you know, for one of these. But these, if you're working on one of these that's not working, and you'll test things like the heater element, you'll test things like the motor, they'll all come back fine. You'll test the board, that'll all come back fine. So, and you'll be trying to find where the fault is. Well, it's generally hidden in these, and these are hidden on the inside, as I say, of the heat shield, which is then hidden inside this part, so you can never spot it. But that's the common cause on this particular model of them failing. So we don't keep those. Unless they're any good, or if they're really in good condition, we don't bother keeping the little heat sensors that are inside either. But this part will go into shred and be recycled. This part goes into plastics for recycling. Again, this is another piece of plastic which goes into recycling for plastics. And we just get rid of all that lot. Right, so that was the broken one, the one that was well used, and we got a couple of fan blades, fan motor, main board, micro switch, heating element, and the main cable, as well as inside this part we have the main display panel part. So we'll take that out in a moment. So let's move on now to the second one. However, I am not going to bore you with that teardown because it's pretty much the same. So I'm just going to show you the condition of it first. So you can see that this one is completely brand new. You see the pan, it's shiny. So that part we can sell, and we sell a lot of those. Those are one of our best sellers actually. We don't need that. We don't need the top panels because they're often scratched up, and if they're in really good condition then we might keep the top panel, but generally they're scratched up, so we don't bother with those. Anyway, let's have a look. Inside there is all nice and shiny, brand new. I don't even think that heating elements got hot. So let's see if we can get a closer, better view of that. See, it's nice and shiny, not even got hot, nice and clean inside. So like I said, I'm not going to bore you with tearing this one down. I'll just come back to you in a moment when we've got all the parts out of this one. Okay, see you in a moment. Okay, welcome back. Now we've got them both stripped down. We've got all of the parts from the old dirty air fryer and all of the parts from the newer one, which just had the 40 plug. So let's start with the dirty one. We got the heating element, we got the two fan blades, which are dirty but still usable. We got the control panel, which you can see it's in still good nick. Got the motherboard, or the main board, which is still in perfectly good condition. We got the motor. These are pretty much standard on a lot of air fryers, these motors, so we do sell quite a lot of them for various models. And again, the micro switch, which is for your, activates your drawer when your drawer goes in, tells the the air fryer that the drawer's in or out. And the ribbon cable to go to control panel. And then on the new one, you can see the difference between the new element and the old element. So it's black and white really. New element is all nice and shiny, you can read it, and these sell, both of these will sell just for the same amount of money, but you know, they will sell quicker if they're cleaner. And fan blades on this one, as you can see, nice and shiny, clean, never been used. As for the rest of it, is all clean and shiny. Main board again, same type of motor. It's a little bit cleaner than the other one because this has never been used. And the micro switch, but the only difference with this one is we managed to have the drawer and the grill, which is in really good condition. So that's a bit of a bonus with this one. So as I was saying, that the air fryers as they are individually, if they're working and they're in really good condition, not well used, but like this one that had the faulty plug but is in pretty much brand new condition, fixing that, I could probably sell the unit as a whole thing for £10 as opposed to breaking it down in parts. Now, what do we have in parts? We have the drawer and the grill. These can go £10 to £15 on their own. So already that's the cost of the whole unit. These can go anywhere, or they fluctuate between £10 and £15. Same for the motors. Control panels are around about £7.99, £8, something like that. Same for the main board. These just go for a few quid, maybe a £5 at absolute most, but generally, you know, they're okay as they are. And the micro switches, which again for a few pounds. But all in all, you're going to get far more out of that value out of that pile than you are out of the whole unit, and you can just see the difference in value just from the drawer alone is worth the same price as the whole thing sold on, you know, on eBay or etc. So again, you know, you're probably 5 times the value just by stripping it for parts. And we've got 2 lots of parts, so you know, as opposed to £20 to well over £100, you know, it makes more sense to strip them and sell the parts. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, let us well, click the like and subscribe and comment down below, and let us know what you would like to see teared down next. Maybe it's a pink pig, you know, or something else. Let us know what you'd like to see teared down in the comments, and we'll see if we can get that on the bench for you. Okay, until the next one, have a good one.
Reminder: these demonstrations were for educational purposes only. Do not attempt them yourself. Electrical systems can be hazardous.
I had 2 fryers on the bench today. One was tired, just wouldn't play. The other looked shiny, nearly brand new, but the plug was faulty. What can you do? Fixing takes time, but parts pay more. Stack them up and open the store. With every screw I'm finding gold. At P.I.T.C.O, that's the story told. Salvage or scrap, that's the game I play. Parts worth more at the end of the day. From fan to board, they don't go to waste. On P.I.T.C.O's eBay, they find a new place. Desarmo la máquina pieza por pieza, el motor, la pantalla, todo me interesa. No la reparo, mejor reciclar. En la tienda de P.I.C.O se van a vender ya. I strip the machine part by part. just lied, but strip them down and you will see spare parts profit, that's P.I.T.C.O.'s key. Salvage or scrap, that's the game I play. Parts worth more at the end of the day. Helping the planet, keeping things alive. At P.I.T.C.O.'s eBay, the spares will thrive. Salvaje o chatarra, es el juego aquí. Las piezas valen más al final para mí. Cuidando el planeta, dándoles vida otra vez. En la tienda de P.I.T.C.O. prosperarán otra vez.